Birmingham and beyond, Assalamu alaikum. I'm delighted to have been invited to join you on this important day, on the occasion of the Prophet Muhammad's birth. May peace and blessings be upon him. I have to say to you that I feel very much at home amongst the Muslim community here in Birmingham. Not least because so many Muslims have chosen to make Birmingham their home. The Census 2011 data show a significant increase in the number of Muslims nationally, where the number has almost doubled, and locally here in Birmingham, where the Muslim community makes up approximately 1/4 of the whole of the community of Birmingham. Indeed, Birmingham has the largest number of Muslims of any local authority in Britain, and is looked to nationally and beyond as a beacon when it comes to the progress Muslims are making in many numerous areas of life, not least in school, community, in organising through charities, the media and the arts. And I know that media outlets like Noor TV and others have an international following as they plug Birmingham into an international circuit of religious, cultural and economic activity that brings further vitality to the Muslim population here in Birmingham and the city as a whole. I want to look at ways to promote this positively and make a further resource for our city, the nation and indeed the world. I'm only too pleased to say that I wrote to the Prime Minister David Cameron last October to register the insult felt on behalf of the Muslims in the city by the disrespectful and distasteful representations of Islam and Muslims in the film Innocence of Muslims. I asked him to consider changes to the laws on blasphemy in the UK and to make it more difficult for people to provoke anger and hurt in Muslims through such acts. I also asked him to review the legislation on hate crime and the Equalities Act 2010 to protect Muslims from discrimination and to bring recognition of the faith of Islam in line with the Sikh and Jewish faiths who are protected under the ethnicity and religion and belief categories of the Equalities Act 2010. I will continue to support Muslims here in Birmingham on such endeavours. Now we live particularly through tough economic and challenging times, where faith has proven to be an indispensable resource in helping people orientate their lives and those of their families and neighbours towards hope and doing good. The Prophet, peace be upon him, famously said there would come a time when Muslims would be numerous, and yet their impact on the world would be little. This urges us to think beyond numbers and think about the quality of lives we live in our homes and our societies. In taking on the challenges that Muslims face in their lives, I believe, like many of you, in the example of the Prophet, peace be upon him. His life and teachings are the best introduction to Islam. He lived by it and implemented it in his daily life. He bore witness to the message of the Quran. Through him, Muslims have learned how to contribute to the world. I admire those Muslims who follow the essential teachings of the Prophet, peace be upon him. A prominent example of which is Pir Alauddin Siddiqui, who through his teachings and actions helped others to translate the message of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in their daily lives and society. Despite the national and international spotlight that has been on Muslims over the past 2 decades, and which continues to be, I have been moved by the numerous examples of peaceful and community-focused action that Muslims have been engaged in. A key example is the ongoing critical engagement Muslims have painstakingly involved themselves in with the police and other law-abiding enforcement agencies to help limit the fallout from anti-terror arrests and activity linked to Birmingham. I applaud the consensus reached by the diverse Muslim organisations and communities here in the city of Birmingham, through my own Social Cohesion and Equalities Division of the City Council, to produce one unequivocal voice that condemns extremist behaviour and the arguments and ideologies used to justify it in the name of Islam. The Prophet, peace be upon him, also brought the message that you are the best community, inasmuch as you commend what is good and forbid what is bad. I believe this verse encourages Muslims to be reflective about who they are and about their actions. It's not enough for Muslims to consider themselves the best community because of who they are or because they're born into a religion, but it should be visible. Being Muslim also means being witness of the Prophet's message before other people. Other citizens of their neighbourhoods and the city, being the best they can in the broader life of the city through building social cohesion. To this end, I would urge you to harness the energy, vision and drive of the young people and the women in the Muslim community, those who are making valuable contributions to the civic and economic life of the city as a whole. I know, and I conclude on this remark, that Noor's TV's programming schedule is representative too of such diverse voices in the Muslim community. I would like to support Birmingham's Muslims in their efforts to continue